Welcome on today's conversation on the future of work, where AI isn't just a buzzword, but a business driver. This is Lenovo Work Reborn, live in Orlando. Hello, and welcome to the Lenovo Work Reborn podcast. My name is Rita, and I'm joined here today with a fellow Lenovian. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, of course. My name is Matthew Meyers. I'm the Executive Director and General Manager of our North America Small and Medium Business segment.
Well, you're just the person we need to talk to because we've been speaking to a lot of leaders in different spaces about our recent Work Reborn report. As you know, we interviewed over 600 senior IT leaders, but let's talk about it from our perspective of where we think everything is headed and going, right? But before we get into that, let's do a fun FIFA-themed icebreaker question.
Let's do it.
How do you feel about that? The fact that Lenovo and FIFA are partners, isn't that cool?
It's phenomenal. It's a global stage. It's the biggest event in the world, and Lenovo will be main stage representing our technology integration and partnership with FIFA.
Like, what is so crucial about this partnership, and how is it aligned for us and this partner?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. When you think about FIFA and the global stage, all the countries coming together to compete for that big trophy, the technology requirements that happen behind the scenes, the analytics that viewers are now have at our fingertips, all of that will be powered by Lenovo, from infrastructure to end user computing, of course, all enabled with Lenovo's solutions and services at the forefront. So the availability, the market, the big stage, it's incredibly exciting for all of us.
Maybe we'll end up at a game sometime.
Absolutely. You let us know. The good news is there's a lot of games in lots of different states and cities around the country.
You never know.
That's right.
Well, on that note, let's talk about that behind the scenes mindset a little bit, right? So if you had an organization come to you and want to integrate AI into their workforce, there's a few ways they could do it, right? So if an IT workforce were a football team, FIFA inspired, what position do you think AI would play? Goalkeeper, striker, or coach?
So when I think about an IT organization or any organization, regardless of IT or not, I think, I equate it to the striker, that innovative forward approach, how we attack the market and the opportunities in front of us. So that would be my choice. Is like goalkeeper, I view more of a defensive position, but from an attack methodology, I'd have to go with striker because it's the most exciting opportunity out there.
Right. And then, from what I've been learning about soccer/football, depending on where you are from the world,
fair.
Is how important the striker is from a also leadership perspective too. Like if you're getting those goals and you're working towards them, it really increases the morale of the rest of the team, right?
Absolutely. Wins matter. And soccer or football, wins come from goals, right?
Yes. And we want that for AI as well. We want it to feel like an exciting part of any initiative for a business, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Less like, it's that thing that it's benched. We don't want it to be benched on the sideline. Right. Well, let's talk a little bit more, about sustainability, because on the flip side of AI, it is a very important conversation to be having on how do these tech innovations impact us in our daily lives and work, and from that perspective as well, too. So looking ahead in 5 years, do you think sustainability will be built in as a natural part of an AI-enabled workforce rather than something IT leaders need to just justify on its own?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So 5 years in the future, I'll say up front, I think sustainability will be integrated into IT workflows and processes across many organizations. And if you play with that over 5 years, if you start with today, and the root cause premise of why does sustainability feel like it's bolted on? Well, a lot of the IT lifecycle, whether you're talking about infrastructure or end user computing, is very manual or disjointed today, right? It requires humans to pull it all together and orchestrate that lifecycle, from planning what you need to staging those devices to integrating and managing them, ultimately to retiring them. You may talk about lifecycle processes like how do you reduce your carbon footprint on the touch points before it gets into an end user's hand. At the end of the life cycle, you have to manage your asset recovery services completely separately for the most part. Lenovo brings together a lot of those capabilities today through, for example, TrueScale Device as a Service for our customers, where we can handle a lot of that workload. But 5 years down the road, when you're automating different workflows and you're able to choose and select different capabilities to offset some of your carbon footprint, whether it's through touch points or reduction in humans around the world having to touch those devices, all the way through the end of that asset's life cycle. You're able to automate that through workflows and AI intelligence, right? Those insights that it'll ultimately bring to us on a daily basis to help all of our organizations get much smarter about how they're doing business, but also, most importantly, to improve that sustainability footprint.
It's not about different, it's about smarter.
Exactly.
We're not saying we're going to take one thing and replace it just for the sake of it. It's about working smarter, right?
Exactly. That's absolutely right.
Tell me more about how, as a whole, Lenovo is bringing new life to the modern workplace. We've been asking podcast guests about what does Work Reborn mean to them. So what does Work Reborn mean to you?
Yeah, I think Work Reborn for me ties back to all of the legacy ways that we've historically managed our IT ecosystems. Again, it's required a lot of different people, maybe outsourcing or in-housing different functions. And the orchestration of that has been very challenging. Now, there's some organizations that have done it remarkably well with that. But when you look at the security threat, the sustainability disadvantages of having to manually orchestrate all of these things, Work Reborn to me and what Lenovo is bringing to the market is really that intelligence, that automation. All of our key investments and initiatives that we have going on right now are with our customers first and foremost top of mind. We do a lot of in-house dog fooding, if you will, right? Testing things out ourselves, trying, refining before we bring it to market, and the benefits we yield, we want to directly package and bring to our customers. So when we talk about Work Reborn, right, we start with ourselves. How are we acting smarter, automating our functions, and then trying to bring those benefits to our customers? Because, when I'm chatting with customers, I always say the technology is phenomenal. You can have the best end user computing in the world, laptops, desktops. You can have the top performing infrastructure in the world, but if you can't enable it properly, it's as good as a doorstop, right? So Lenovo's trying to invest and make sure that we're helping customers enable that technology, build that automation in, and that's where the modern workplace being reborn is absolutely critical.
Yes. Okay, last question, just for fun, to round out this fantastic conversation I've been having with you, Matthew. What are you most passionate about in this vertical, in this industry that we're in?
Yeah, so for me specifically, I lead our small and medium business segment for North America, and when I look and I look at the challenges that they face on a daily basis, they don't have all the resources that are available to them. When you think about artificial intelligence or you think about cybersecurity, those, across the industry, those resources are constrained, but especially constrained for small and medium businesses. The passion that I have is on how we can bring the best-in-class technology, the best-in-class enablement to those customers and help them with their aspirations, whether it's growing into the Fortune 500 or growing their profitability, whatever it may be, helping them to achieve their business outcomes through technology and the enablement of that technology.
That sounded like a goal, FIFA World Cup winning answer to me. So I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming by and doing the podcast. If anyone is interested in learning more about the Work Reborn research study and report, definitely download it. If you're listening, it'll be in the podcast description below, or if you're watching, scan the QR code on the screen over here to grab a copy of the report, and make sure you follow and subscribe the Lenovo Work Reborn podcast. And thank you so much. That's a wrap.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us live in Orlando for this amazing episode of Work Reborn. I've been your host, Rita Risha, and it's been a pleasure to bring you insightful conversations from around the world, especially at this event, on how we are bringing new life to the modern workplace. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to stay tuned on more ways that we are doing just that, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe our channel, and download a copy of the Work Reborn report today.
Lenovo.